Hey guys, I promised you a recipe for stuffed cabbage, so today, here it is. Stuffed cabbage is really easy to make, but to make it well, you really need a good sauerkraut. And in order to learn how to make a homemade sauerkraut, you can go to one of our previous videos on how to make homemade sauerkraut, and we can show you how to make these wonderful sour leaves that would make stuffed cabbage absolutely delicious. Besides good sauerkraut, we're gonna need some good quality beef, some smoked bacon, eggs, garlic, black pepper, sea salt, Hungarian paprika, and rice. And I'm using pearl rice. I just love pearl rice because it kind of turns creamy in the stuffed cabbage. And we're gonna also use some onions. I have a large chopped onion here. Let's start by chopping about 10 slices of naturally smoked bacon. Chop your bacon in small bits, small pieces. Okay, we're done chopping. Let's put the bacon in a hot pot. Okay, we're gonna let bacon cook until it's golden brown and some of the fat is released. Bacon is getting done. Now I'm gonna add about a cup of olive oil. Okay, now let's add some olive oil. As I said, about a cup of olive oil. Remember, sauerkraut calls for enough fat. If you don't have enough fat, your sauerkraut or stuffed cabbage will not turn out really good. I let the bacon fry for additional 3 minutes in olive oil, and now we're going to add onions. I'm going to show you how nice and crisp bacon looks now. So let's add onions to it and move on. Here comes the onion. Keep the fire on medium high. A large head of onion. And we're going to cook onions until they turn golden brown. So onions will actually stop the process of cooking of bacon, and now we're just going to allow onions to cook really well. Here goes a tablespoon of Hungarian paprika, maybe a little more. You know how I always like to add a touch more. Let's just mix it and allow paprika to cook for about a minute. And now let's add some ground beef to it. Most important thing about cooking ground beef is actually that we don't want to cook it at all. All I want to do is just to put it in a hot oil, mix it for maybe about 3 or 4 minutes, just to kind of warm it up really good. And then we're going to take the whole thing off the stove. All right, off the stove. Let's go. All right, so I'm ready to move on, and let me show you what's next. Okay, now is a great time to add some chopped garlic while the mixture is still hot. Okay, so we got chopped garlic. I have about 7 or 8 cloves of chopped garlic here. Gonna add some sea salt. I'm gonna add quite a bit of black pepper. See, and this is a coarsely grounded black pepper, and a cup of pearl rice. Oh, it smells so delicious, delicious, delicious. Okay, once it's cooled off a bit, I'm going to add a couple of eggs. And I'm really lucky to have my own eggs. My chickens are working really hard these days. So I'm very lucky to have my own eggs, which are just beautifully golden and yellow inside. The yolk is so rich, and that's going to add so much flavor to stuffed cabbage. So while we wait for beef to cool off a little bit before we put eggs, I want to tell you a thing or two about cabbage. Here's a little tip. If you don't have time, and if you're not patient to wait and make your own sauerkraut, there is a shorter way to do this. All you need is some hot water, vinegar, and some salt. And in one of my future videos, I will show you how easy it is to boil cabbage leaves. And the reason we boil them is so they are manageable. As you see, this leaf is so flexible and manageable. And this is what happens in the process of pickling of cabbage. And if you can't and don't have time to pickle your whole cabbage, you can just boil it and get the same flexibility so you can make rolls. So that's one tip. And another tip, important tip is, once you have the leaf free of the cabbage head, it's very important to remove, that is to thin out this vein that comes here. So I'm going to show you how to do that. And this is something you want to do before you start rolling cabbage. You can do this ahead of time, just to kind of gain on cooking time later on. Alright, the beef is just a bit cold, and now I'm going to add a couple of eggs. And eggs, their purpose is to kind of combine and keep the whole mixture together. I'm going to go as far as using 3 eggs. Actually 2 would be enough for this measurement. Just because these eggs are good and healthy and they're so rich in flavor, I'm just going to add 3. Mix it really well and we are ready to roll. Alright, and let me show you how to a full perfect cabbage roll. As you see, the vein that runs through the middle of the leaf is pointing towards my elbow. Just going to put some of this stuffing in. Shape it nicely. Fold one side. As you see, fold one side, fold the other side, and then applying gentle pressure. Just keep rolling. Alright, here's another leaf. Let's do it again. Okay, form the stuffing, fold it one way, fold it other way, straighten the leaf out, and then just applying gentle pressure, keep rolling. Alright, and this is how stuffed cabbage should look like before it's cooked. Okay, and let's add some bay leaf. And now I'm going to make a sauce. I'm going to pour it over this, and we're going to put our stuffed cabbage bake for about 2 hours on 350 in oven. And here's how to make a sauce. About 1/4 cup of olive oil, maybe about 1.5 tablespoons of flour. Allow our flour to lightly cook in oil before you add Hungarian paprika. Okay, we're going to go with maybe 1/2 teaspoon of Hungarian paprika. Alright. Cook it just a bit. Okay, a pinch of salt. I'm sorry, this is pinch of sugar. A pinch of salt. Okay, and some black pepper. Not too much this time. Mix it. Add 8 ounces of tomato sauce. Okay, mix it well. And now we're going to add some water. 4 cups of water here. It's looking really nice. Okay, we don't want to waste. Remember how I feel about wasting. So we're going to rinse this fish tomato sauce. Alright. Mix it again. And we're just going to gradually add the rest of the water. Let's just make sure that this is combined well. And I'm going to switch from this to a whisk. Okay. I'm going to crank up the fire and gradually add the rest of the water. Our sauce is boiling, and let's just pour it over cabbage rolls. Okay. An important thing is to always maintain some liquid above the actual cabbage rolls. Once they're baking, rice will start absorbing all this sauce. So you do want to check every half an hour and make sure there is enough water above the cabbage rolls so that it can cook evenly and good. About 2.5 hours on 350. And until next cooking adventure, be well, be healthy, and live your best life. I'm sending you all my love and encouragement to get back in the kitchen and start changing your life. Cheers! Learn how to make homemade sauerkraut? Just check one of our previous videos on how to make a homemade sauerkraut.